Tonight, you will do something you have done every single night of your life, and you will have no memory of the moment it happens. You will fall asleep. Not the part where you lie down, not the part where you close your eyes, the actual moment. The exact second you stop being awake. You have crossed that border thousands of times, and you have never once seen it happen. Nobody has. You cannot watch yourself fall asleep, because the thing that would watch is the exact thing that switches off. Most people assume falling asleep is like dimming a light, a slow fade. The room gets darker, your thoughts get slower, and somewhere in there you gently drift off. But that is not what the brain actually does. The last 10 seconds before you fall asleep are not a fade at all. They are a shutdown, a sequence, a series of doors closing one after another in an order your ancestors would recognize, because they have been closing in that same order for hundreds of thousands of years. Let me take you into those 10 seconds, slowly, the way they actually happen. It starts with your body going quiet. Your muscles begin to release a tension you did not even know you were holding. Your jaw loosens, your hands uncurl, your breathing stretches longer and flatter, like a tide pulling back from the shore. This is the first door. Your body has decided, before you have, that the day is over. Then your senses start to leave you, not all at once. In order, your sense of touch dulls first. The weight of the blanket, the texture of the sheet, the pressure of your own body against the mattress, all of it begins to disappear. Then sound starts to drift. You can still hear, but the sounds stop meaning anything. A car passing outside is no longer a car. It is just a shape of noise, far away, happening to someone else. Your brain is quietly cutting the wires to the outside world, one sense at a time, and it does not ask your permission. Deep in the center of your brain, there is a small structure called the thalamus. For your entire waking life, it has had one job. It is the gate. Every sight, every sound, every sensation you have ever had passed through it on the way to your conscious mind. Right now, in these final seconds, the thalamus is closing that gate. It is sealing you off from the world. The outside is still out there. The light, the sound, the air on your skin. But the messages are no longer getting through. You are being walled in with your own mind. You can actually see this moment on a machine. In a sleep laboratory, electrodes taped to the scalp draw the brain as a line on a screen. While you are awake, that line is fast and tight and frantic, a scribble of high-frequency activity called beta waves, the signature of a mind doing the work of being a person. As you begin to fade, the line changes. It slows. It stretches. The frantic scribble smooths into long, rolling alpha waves and then slows again into something called theta, the slow swells of a brain letting go. And right at the threshold, in the final seconds, a strange burst appears, a sudden flurry of activity called a sleep spindle. Researchers believe these spindles are the brain actively switching you off, locking the gate from the inside, holding the outside world out so the shutdown can finish. It is not a system winding down by accident. It is a system being deliberately put to sleep, by itself on a schedule older than memory. And this is where something strange happens. As the outside world goes silent, the inside does not. It starts to leak, faces you did not summon, fragments of sentences, a staircase that is not there, a feeling of falling. These are called hypnagogic hallucinations, and almost everyone has them, every single night, and almost nobody remembers them. Your brain is no longer taking orders from the world, so it begins to generate one of its own. For a few seconds, you are awake inside a dream that has not fully started yet. You are standing in the doorway between two worlds, and you will not remember standing there. Then sometimes your body jerks, a sudden, violent twitch, as if you have missed a step on a staircase. You have felt this. Everyone has. It is called a hypnic jerk, and scientists still argue about why it happens. But one of the leading ideas is haunting. As your muscles go limp and your heart rate slows, a primitive part of your brain misreads the signs. It does not see sleep, it sees death. It sees a body going still and a pulse going quiet, and for a single panicked instant, it tries to wake you up. It yanks you back. That jolt you feel is something deep and ancient inside you, refusing to let you go without checking, one last time, that you are still alive. And then, if nothing pulls you back, you cross. The last door closes. Consciousness ends. Not pauses. Ends. The you that was lying there thinking, worrying, replaying the day, that you is simply gone. There is no final thought. There is no sensation of leaving. One moment there is someone home, and the next moment the house is empty, and no one is there to notice the difference. That is the part you can never witness. The light going out in the room you are standing in. Now step back and look at what you actually just did. Every night you take the one thing that makes you, your awareness, your sense of being a person in the world, and you switch it off. You lie down in the dark, you close your eyes, you let your senses be cut one by one, and you surrender consciousness completely. for hours with no guarantee that it comes back. You do this so casually that you call it rest. Your ancestors did not have the luxury of doing it casually. Picture them hundreds of thousands of years ago, lying down as the sun went down. No walls, no locked door, no glowing screen to push the dark away. To fall asleep out there was to become defenseless in a world full of things with teeth, the slow body, the closing senses, the sealed gate. Every one of those doors that closes in you tonight was, for them, a real and deadly risk, and yet they closed them anyway. They had to. The brain demands this surrender. It will take it by force if you resist it long enough. So every night, every human who has ever lived has performed the same act of total trust. They handed over their awareness to the darkness and hoped the world would still be there in the morning. Think about what that means across all the people who came before you. The first humans who ever slept did it in the open, under a sky with no name for its stars. They closed the same gate you will close tonight. Their senses faded in the same order yours will. They lay down beside the people they loved, took turns staying awake, and trusted that someone would keep watch while their own mind went dark. Sleep was the first thing we ever had to do together. Long before language, before fire was reliable, before anything we would call a home, we had already agreed to take turns disappearing. The act you will perform alone tonight, in a locked room, behind walls, was once the most communal and most dangerous thing a human being could do. That hypnic jerk, that primitive alarm, that mistakes sleep for death starts to make a different kind of sense now. It is a piece of that ancient world still living inside you. A reflex built in an age when going still in the dark really could be the last thing you ever did. It does not know you have a locked door now. It does not know about the walls and the alarm and the safety. It still checks. Every night, just for a second, the oldest part of you wakes up to make sure you are not dying, and then it lets you go. So here is what is really happening in those last 10 seconds. You are not drifting off. You are rehearsing something. You are practicing the thing every living person spends their whole life trying not to think about. The senses fade. The world goes quiet. The self lets go. And for a few hours, there is no you at all. Sleep is the one place we all visit every single night where we get to disappear completely and still come back. Tonight, when it happens, you will not feel the moment it happens. You never have. But it will happen. The day will end in your body before it ends in your mind. The gate will close. The faces will drift in. And somewhere in the last second, something very old and very tired will check that you are still breathing, and then quietly, gently, let you slip under. You will not remember any of it. You never do. And tomorrow night, without a second thought, you will lie down and do it all over again.